So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this live session we will be talking about the Indian Express newspaper, and as I told you before as well that we are having this new series for you, that is the UPSC Prelims PYQ analysis series, wherein we will be discussing the last 6 years PYQs that will be very beneficial and fruitful for your examination. So you can go and watch these videos at our YouTube channel. Name of the series is UPSC Prelims PYQ analysis, and we have a playlist at our channel, so you can go and watch. Otherwise also we will be coming, you can say, uploading the videos at 9 p.m. in the evening, so you can stay tuned with us. Okay, so with that we will be moving forward with newspaper discussion over here. So today we will be starting with the PYQ as usual, and after that we will move to the geography through maps. Okay, as usual we will be going through one map a day. Okay, so this time we will be talking about the map of the water bodies of the world. When we talk about the water bodies, we have already seen the Mediterranean, we have seen the Caspian, Black Sea, Red Sea. These are the water bodies wherein they can ask you about the boundaries sector, because these water bodies stays in news for one region or another region. Okay, otherwise we will be talking about the simple other water bodies which are there around the world. We will be looking at their locations. Okay, then moving further, important articles we will be discussing that the first one is the new CEC appointed Chief Election Commissioner has been appointed, so we will be talking about that. Then earthquake hazard in Delhi. Recently, yesterday we have felt few tremors in Delhi, and it was a earthquake of somewhere around 4 point some magnitude was there. So that is not very strong earthquake, but yes, that is the you can say the strongest one which has been seen in Delhi in the last few years. Okay, so that was there. Coming to the next one, India-Qatar relations. So we will be talking about that because Qatar's Amir has visited India, and our Prime Minister himself went there to receive him. That shows that what kind of importance Qatar holds for India. Okay, so we will be talking about that. When we see earthquake hazard in Delhi, here one interesting point is there. Most of the time whenever there is an earthquake in Delhi, most of the time you will be seeing that the epicenter or the focus of the earthquake is somewhere else, be it in Afghanistan or be it in Nepal, be it in Himalayas. Okay, but this time the focus of that particular earthquake was there in Delhi itself. Okay, so we'll be talking about that, the why it was like that. Okay, then we'll have two articles for your own read. That is important from your mains point of view. That is why I have kept these articles for your own reading right now, since you are focusing on you can say prelims, explaining the practice question which was given to you in the previous lecture, and then practice question which we will be seeing. Okay, so let's start our discussion. First is the PYQ of the day. With reference to the Himalayan river joining the Ganga downstream of the Prayagraj from the west to east, which of the following sequence is correct? They are saying that from west to east you have to go, like this you have to move. Okay, now if you look at these particular you can say options over here, they are talking about the Gagra, Gomti, Gandak and Kosi. Okay, now we know that Kosi is the sorrow of Bihar. Okay, now when we talk about the you can say the way Ganga has the course. Okay, so considering that, we can say that somewhere around in Bihar and then Bengal area is there, where you can say Ganga is shifting towards the, you can say, West Bengal, and then into the you can say your some parts of Bangladesh, and then Arabians, sorry, Bay of Bengal. Okay, so considering that, we know that the Kosi might be the western eastern point over here, so that is Kosi. Here you can see there are two options which are talking about the Kosi being in the east. Okay, so you can remove these two options from there. Okay, so that is about your thing. Now from A and B, now you have to see that how Ganga's tributaries are. So let's look at this particular map. Okay, now see, this is your Ganga river. Ganga has a origin, that is your Gangotri glacier, and then we have another tributary, that is your Yamuna river. Okay, so that is there. Right now we are talking about Gomti, Gandak, Ghagra and Kosi. Okay, so here you can see Gomti is in the west, and then there is Ghagra, then there is Gandak and Kosi. Okay, so let's see the sequence over here. Gomti, Gagra, Gandak and Kosi. Option B would be your right answer over here. Okay. Now point here is to be taken is that they have asked about the Ganga, they have asked about Yamuna. There are high chances that they will be asking about these four rivers, that is Gagra, Gomti, Gandak and Kosi. So you should include them in your notes. Okay. So that is about the PYQ of the day. Now coming to the next map, that is your water bodies. Now if you look at, we'll be starting from here, from our India. Okay. This is your Andaman Sea, which is, we know, this is your Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea. This is your Bay of Bengal. this whole region is your Indian Ocean. This is Northern Indian Ocean, this is Southern Indian Ocean, okay. And now this here, after this here, you will be seeing that this is Southern Ocean, okay. This part over here, that is, you know, below the Australia, you can say we have Southern Ocean. And here, if you look at this area, Red Sea we have already discussed, Caspian Sea we have already discussed, Black Sea we have discussed the Mediterranean Sea, we have discussed the nearby areas as well, like Strait of Gibraltar, Bosphorus Strait, all these things we have already discussed. We have discussed the Azov, we have discussed the Aegean Sea, we have discussed the Marmara Sea, okay. All these things has been discussed over here. Now coming to the next part over here, that is your North Sea, okay. This region you see, okay, North Channel is there, and above which we have the United Kingdom, okay. So this is your North Sea, and here this area over here, that is your Baltic Sea, okay. And north to that you will be seeing that there is this Scandinavian Peninsula, okay. So that is there. Coming to this part over here, you can see East China Sea. This particular area, East China Sea, South China Sea, these are quite important for you because they have been in the news, okay. That is there. When we talk about this particular region, that is your Japan, okay. And when we talk about this particular region, this peninsula is there, and this is the area of Russia. And here you can see this is your Japan region, and this is your East China Sea. And moving down over here, that is your South China Sea. Here this is your Philippines, okay. So there are some of the you can say group of island which is there, that is quite you can say contested between various countries. So that is why this region becomes important for you. Then we have Okhotsk Sea over here, Russia is there, and then this is your Kamchatka Peninsula which is there. This is your Bering Sea, okay. So these are something which you should remember. Bering Sea, Okhotsk Sea, Kamchatka Peninsula, these are part of your North Pacific region, okay. Now here, coming to this particular part of your Australia, here we have Coral Sea, okay, which you should remember. Coming to this part, Atlantic, you know, North Atlantic, South Atlantic, you know. And then here you can see Caribbean Sea is there, Gulf of Mexico, which has been renamed by Mr. Trump as Gulf of America, that is there, because of which this region has been in news, so that they can ask you question about that as well. Coming to this is your Hudson Bay, okay, which you should remember. This is North Pacific Ocean, which is the extension of this ocean over here. This is South Pacific, and then we have Southern Ocean, which we have seen. One more thing, that is your Weddell Sea, okay, that is there. Now you have this job that you have to find Ross Sea, okay. This is consider that as your homework. You will be telling me about the Ross Sea. Now why is that important, I will be telling you in the next class. But Ross Sea you have to find on the map and let me know where it is located in the comment box, okay. Now let's move further and start with our discussion. Before that, I would like to tell you that for ISGS Foundation we are offering you a course, that is ISGS Foundation course, including preparing integrated preparation for prelims and mains will be there, and it is an offline batch mode. It is available in the offline batch. And then when we talk about the medium of the batch, for English medium, admissions are open. For Hindi medium, it is starting from 21st of the February, okay. So that is there. For more details, you can call us on this number, that is 87501 87501, or you can download the Drishti Learning app, or you can directly visit the center and you can get information about it, okay. So that is about our new center Noida, where we are offering this course. Now coming to the first article of the day, that is talking about the new CEC, key role in organization of Jammu and Kashmir and the setting of Ram Temple Trust. Now basically this is the past record of the person, and he is now new CEC, Ganesh Kumar, okay. Ganesh Kumar will be your new CEC. Now when we talk about this article, that is not much important for us. Just know that the Ganesh Kumar will be your new CEC. What is important for us is that how appointments are done, what is the appointment procedure. And now appointment procedure becomes even more important because last year it has been changed, okay. When we talk about 2023, there was this bill which came and that has become an act, and the appointment process was changing over here. So let's see and talk about the appointment procedure. Constitutional framework for the appointment. So there is the article 324. You know that when we talk about the election commission, article 324 is the place from where election commission derive its authority, okay. So here you can say grant the election commission of India the power of superintendence, direction and control over the election. Now with this power, superintendent, direction and control, now these words are not been defined, but these are written. So that is a broad power which has been given to the CEC over here. Now considering that there is this appointment procedure which is there in the 324, or you can say a ground for the appointment is there from the you can say 324. The Chief Election Commissioner and the election commissioners are appointed by the President of India. Who is the appointing authority? President of India. Now let's talk about the appointment procedure. Now there was this Act 2023 Act. The name of the Act was the Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioner appointment, condition of service and the term of office Act 2023 defines the appointment mechanism. Okay, so they have given the mechanism. What will happen is that there will be a search committee. There will be a search committee. This search committee will be headed by the law minister. Okay, the search committee will be headed by the law minister, and then they will be selecting few candidates. They will be making a list of few candidates, and they will be, you can say, suggesting these or recommending these names to the selection committee. Okay, now there is a selection committee. Now earlier when we talk about the selection committee before this act, okay, so in that committee who were there? Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition and CGI. These three people were there before this act. Okay, then court has said that till the time we do not have a law regarding that, so this will be the committee which will be appointing the CEC. Okay, after that they have come up with the law in 2023. Now in that particular law, the search committee, the selection committee comprises of Prime Minister, Union Cabinet Minister, a minister from the Union Cabinet. That particular minister will be nominated by the Prime Minister himself, and then there will be leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. Okay, so that is basically, you can say, the selection committee. What if there is no leader of opposition? So the leader of the largest, you can say, political party which is there in Lok Sabha, largest opposition political party which is there in Lok Sabha, so that will be playing the role of the opposition over here. Okay, so this is the selection committee. Now search committee has given the name to the selection committee. Now selection committee will come up with a name, and they will be suggesting the president to appoint that particular person as the CEC. So that is your appointment procedure. Now this you should remember, because that has been in the news for various reasons. Okay, other than that also, this clause wherein the CGI has been removed from the selection committee through the act, that has been contested by the various opposition parties. That is why this particular process becomes important. Okay, now let's move further to the next one, that is earthquake hazard in Delhi. Herein we are talking about the earthquake. Now here if you look at this particular graph over here, you will be seeing that most of the earthquake has been there in the range of magnitude, that is 3. Okay, there are 2 or 3 earthquake which has been there in the magnitude which is between more than 3 but less than 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 over here. And when we talk about the recent one has been the strongest one. Okay, so here that is your, it was having a magnitude of 4 point something. Okay, so we will be talking about that here. Delhi falls in the seismic zone 4. We will be talking about the seismic zones, meaning it has a high probability of moderate to strong earthquakes. Okay, these are basically your moderate earthquakes. Okay, because earthquake of, you can say, 4 magnitude is not considered as very strong. Okay, so that is your moderate to strong category. Structure needs to be earthquake resistant due to the risk of the damage. So that was something which is there. Anyways, now let's see. When we talk about Delhi, Delhi does not see much of the strong earthquakes. Okay, now reason being that when we talk about the Delhi is a fold mountain. On the fold mountains, when we talk about this Aravalli, Aravalli is the oldest mountain chain which is there. Now Delhi is on the, you can say, edge of the Aravalli. This Raisina Hills etc., these are on the edge of the Aravallis. Now these are remnant mountains which are there, so not much volcanic activity is there. There is no, you can say, these are not very active in nature. Okay, Delhi in the past, whatever earthquake they have faced, most of the earthquakes are having the, you can say, origin in the Himalayas or be in the nearby regions in Afghanistan or Nepal, like that. Okay, so that is because Himalaya has that kind of extension. Okay, so mostly these earthquakes are from Himalayas. But when we talk about the Aravallis, this fold mountain chain which is there, that is almost a remnant of the fold mountains or the oldest mountain. These are not seismically very active, but still, because of the creation of the folds and all which has been happening since the, which has happened in the million years ago. But the thing is, there is some kind of stress is there. Okay, so some faults are there from where you can see, you can expect such kind of earthquakes. Okay, earthquake is nothing but the release of the energy. Okay, Now whenever you can see that if there is an energy which is being stored in a particular area and that finds a small fissure or a fault from where energy can release, so that is basically your earthquakes. Okay, that is the release of the stress or the energy. Okay, now let's see. Mostly tremors experienced in Delhi from time to time are from the earthquakes that originate somewhere else, sometimes as far away as Afghanistan. Okay, Monday's magnitude 4 earthquake was located in Delhi itself, somewhere close to the Dhola region. So they are saying that in the region of the Dhola, this earthquake originated from that particular area. Now, other than that, after this earthquake, there was another earthquake which has been felt in Siwan in Bihar. Okay, magnitude 4 earthquakes are not very strong and do not result in much damage. Okay, so that is why we are saying that Delhi is on a place where they are having moderate to strong earthquakes. So they might ask you this simply in the examination, because you must be seeing that in the newspaper etc., that earthquakes are quite frequent in Delhi. So they might ask you that the earthquake in the Delhi are more intense. These are not intense, these are frequent. Okay, so that is, there is a difference in that. Okay, now let's see. Aravalli Delhi fold belt. Now we are saying that Delhi is on the fold belt, or the fold mountains are there, and because of which when they were forming, so there was some kind of stress which has been stored inside the folds, and whenever they get time, that that comes out. Okay, so let's see. Aravalli Delhi fold belt, a seismically active geological belt extending from southern and the eastern Rajasthan to Haryana and Delhi. Sorry. This region is characterized by the presence of deformed layer of the rock that have been folded or bent due to the geological processes hundreds of millions of years ago. So basically they are saying that because of the folding or the bent which has because of the geological processes, these bends or the folds has formed over here, there is some kind of stress which has been accumulated over here. These deformations has created stress which is sometimes released in the forms of the earthquake. Okay, different mechanism for the one that triggers earthquake in Himalaya region. When we talk about the Himalayan region is altogether different story, because you know that there was this Eurasian plate, and then there was this Indo-Australian plate, Indian plate, which has been moving in this particular direction, and then they have attached over here, and because of which you can see we have India which has attached to the Eurasian plate, and now there is a boundary, submergence boundary is there, and because of the submergence boundary Himalayas are still rising. Okay, let's see what happens is that there is already a one continental boundary is there, or the plate is there, and then another plate comes over here that basically submerged over here, because of which what will happen is that some kind of crushing will happen of the stones over here, and magma will form, and this particular plate, since it is going down over here, this plate will start to rise on this. Okay, so now this basically structure is your Himalayas, that is plate which is rising. Okay, so that is the story behind the Himalayas formation. There was this Eurasian plate, and then Indo-Australian plate, part of Indo-Australian plate was there, and then they came and they converged with each other, because of which one plate is subsiding, other plate is rising. That rising plate is basically your Himalayas. Okay, now since Himalayas are rising, these are active, seismically active zones, and that is why you will be seeing that there is a potential for the earthquake and the volcanoes. Okay, so that is your story of Himalayas. Okay, now because of which it is most earthquake prone region in the world, witnessing the subduction of the Indian tectonic plate under the Eurasian plate. Okay, so part of the Indo-Australian plate that has come, and over here we are now calling it as the Indian plate only. Okay, and that has strike with the Eurasian plate. Okay, now which results in the lot of stress building. The Aravalli Delhi fold was much more seismically active in the past than it is now, because when we talk about the Aravalli Delhi fold, that was seismically active in the past, because that was at that point of time that was young. Okay, now Himalayas are young, so considering that Aravallis are now remnant mountains. Okay, almost you can say they have weathered and some remnant has been there. Now considering that, now the seismic activity or the tectonic activity over here has slowed down, and some places are there where this stress is relating once in a while. So this is the area Dhola, this incident has happened, that build up stress which was there, that has released over here. Okay, the sound of the earthquake, people has witnessed that there was a kind of a sound which was there. That sound was basically the release of the energy actually result into the vibration. Okay, most of the time, if the earthquake is not of much magnitude, we will not witness, or that will not be in the range of the human ears to catch that particular thing. And that is why this time, since the earthquake was of 4 magnitude, some kind of voices could be heard over here. So many reported hearing a peculiar underground sound before the tremors. Earthquake produces seismic waves, some of which are beyond human hearing range. Okay, and this time they could hear it. Now let's move further to the next one. Before that, hold on a second. Okay, now this is the map. Now here you can see this area, these areas, or the you can say these red patches which you are seeing, these are very high risk prone areas. Okay, these are called as the zone 5, very high risk zone which is there with respect to the you can say earthquake. Okay, coming to the next one, this kind of orange color or the saffron color which you are seeing in the areas of Jammu and Kashmir, and some Tarai belt, and this areas of Bihar, okay, and West Bengal, this is the zone 4. Okay, this is a zone 4 that is having the high risk of risk zone. These are basically high risk damage zones, but they are lesser than the red ones. Okay, so that is zone 4. Coming to the this yellow one over here, that is the dark yellow shade which is given over here, that is your moderate one, zone 3. Okay, and the middle India, or the some part of the Deccan plateau over here, that is basically zone 2. Okay, so this is having low damage risk over here. So India has 4 zones which are in which we divide the India into seismic zones. There are 4 zones: zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and zone 5. Okay, there is no zone 1. Okay, earlier it used to be there, that was actually merged with the zone 2. Okay, so that is there. Other than that, some of the cities has been given which are basically you can say highly prone to the earthquakes over here. So Bhuj, Darbhanga, Guwahati, Imphal, Jorhat, Kohima, Mandi, Port Blair, Sadia, Srinagar, Tezpur, Almora, Ambala, Amritsar, and Bahraich or Barauni. These are some of the cities which are given over here. If you can remember, that's good, otherwise not important, but just know that these are your seismic zones. If they ask you in the mains or something, then you can please, if you can draw this particular map, what you can do is that you can draw the outline of India, and then you can show this area, some patches of these areas, and the Kutch region. These are the zone 5 areas. After, in the vicinity of that, or the surrounding zones to these areas, are basically your zone 4 areas. Then the vicinity of that, when we are talking about the surrounding to the zone 4, we have zone 3, and the rest part is zone 2. Okay, so that is about your seismic zones. Now we can move further to the next one. Okay, was there any procedure regarding the appointment of CEC in the original constitution? In the original constitution, procedure is not been given. Okay, earlier it was done through the executive action, or the executive influence was there. After that, the when we talk about the cases over here, judicial cases were there, and with that they have come up with this idea wherein there will be a selection committee, prime minister, leader of opposition, and then there will be CGI which will be part of the committee, until unless government makes a law for that. Okay, and government has made a law for that, and now the new selection committee is there. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now let's move further. Bacteria made band-aid for the plants. Now when we talk about the bacteria, bacterial cellulose, it can be used to act as a bandage. Now bandage, where? Bandage for the plants, that has been shown in this particular study. Okay, what they have seen, that if there is a leaf which has been cut off and then this bandage is applied, so they are recovering faster and they are having better results. So considering that, they are saying that the bacterial cellulose can be used as a bandage, improving the healing and the regeneration in the plants. Bacterial cellulose patches to prevent infection in the wounded plants. Patches also help plant heal faster. Okay, so that has been seen in the study. Now enhance the vegetative propagation, a process used to grow a genetically identical plants using the cuttings. Now they were doing it in the lab, they were trying to go for this particular process, that is basically your you can say regeneration of the plants in the lab, etc. So enhanced vegetative propagation, or what has been seen, that according to scientists, it was seen that this enhance the process, or this is basically increasing the speed of the process and also helping in the healing of the plant over here. Okay, So bacterial cellulose is a natural polymer produced by the certain bacteria. Now since it is bacterial, that means that it is produced by the bacteria, and it is a cellulose, it is a kind of a polymer which is there. So what they are saying is that for the plant that can be used as a bandage, and even in the humans that has already been used as a bandage, that is there. Coming to the next part over here, how you will be using it. So in the agriculture etc., they will be using it. Okay, so that is the use of it. Now why I have taken this particular article, that they might be using simple, you can say, statement, okay, saying that the bacterial cellulose can be used in the healing process of plants as well as animals or the humans. Okay, so don't get confused, that is being done. Okay, and this when we are talking about the plants, that has been seen recently, and when we talk about the humans, that has been there. Okay. So this session is for both pre and mains. Of course, this is for both pre and mains. Obviously, when we talk about the current affairs, that will be asked in pre as well as in mains. Okay. Now coming to the next part, that is basically Russia, US to hold talks in Saudi Arabia today on ending war. Ukraine not invited. We have talked about this yesterday, but since the results will be coming tomorrow, so we'll be talking about that again. But I wanted to tell you that what is going on over here. So US and Russian official will be talking about the Russia-Ukraine war over there, and Saudi Arabia is the place where they will be meeting. Okay, so Saudi Arabia will also be playing a role in that, but the thing is Ukraine has not been invited over here. Okay, Ukraine has not been invited, and Ukraine has said that any such outcome from this particular meeting will be rejected by them because they were not part of it. Okay, so that is there, and that makes sense as well. Coming to the next one, talks marks a significant shift in the US-Russia relations nearly 3 years into the war. Now, when we talk about the US and Russia, they don't see eye to eye. Okay, but the recent geopolitical situations are like that they are coming together to resolve this particular issue. So that is there. This meeting marks the biggest US-Russia engagement in years. Okay, so that has been there. Now what is the geopolitical reaction from different countries? So here you will be seeing that Mr. Trump has made a statement that European powers or the European countries has nothing to do with this particular issue, so they have not invited them as well. So here you can see that France has called an emergency meeting of the EU and UK to respond to these talks. That is one thing. British PM over here has expressed readiness to send peacekeeping troops if needed. European leaders including German Chancellor and the European Commission President are closely monitoring the situation. So that is the geopolitical you can say reaction. We are also monitoring this situation. In the next episode we will be talking about the outcome of this particular meeting which is being taken place right now. Okay. Now coming to the next one, as Qatar Amir starts visit, trade, energy and the tech ties on the table. Now they are talking about the Qatar's you can say, when we talk of the Amir, he has actually landed over here, and our Prime Minister has personally went there to receive him. So that shows that how important Qatar is for India. Otherwise also Qatar has been in the news for various reasons, and that is why Qatar becomes important. So here we will be talking about some general, you can say, if there is a normal question which is asked on the India and Qatar relation, you can write something. So considering that, we will be talking about that. The Qatar's Amir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani has arrived in India for 2 days visit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received the Amir at the airport, highlighting the importance of the visit. The visit comes amid ongoing negotiation for a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, in the ceasefire, Qatar has played an important role. So, ceasefire in Gaza is going on. At that point of time, we are having this particular meeting. Strengthening bilateral ties is a priority, and especially in the trade, defense and the regional stability. So, that is the thing on which they will be talking. Now, let's see what kind of relations India is having with them. Qatar recently commuted the death sentence of 8 former Indian Navy personnel accused of espionage. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so what kind of relation we have, that the espionage, there are few candidates, or you can say few former Navy personnel which has been given the death penalty over there, and that has been commuted. Okay, so that kind of diplomatic reach we have with each other. So that is there. 7 has returned to home. So that is something which you can quote as an example in these relations. India and Qatar share historical ties with cooperation growing in the trade, energy, technology and culture. Coming to the next one, bilateral trade between India and Qatar reached 18.77 billion US dollars, and when we talk about India's exports, that is nearly 2 billion you can say, and imports are 16.8 billion. So that is something that Qatar is having a surplus with us. Coming to the next one, key Indian exports to the Qatar includes LNG, LPG, chemicals, plastics, aluminium, cereals, copper, iron and species. Now you will be seeing that here we are talking about the LNG and LPG. Okay, so that is also important commodity. So considering that key Indian exports to Qatar are LNG, LPG, chemicals, plastics, aluminium, cereals, copper, iron and spices. Okay, so that is about it. And now for your own read, there are two articles which is there. As US position on the Ukraine NATO shifts, a recall and why it matters. Now earlier what has happened is that way back they the countries like Georgia and the Ukraine, they have considered that they should be part of NATO. Okay, they should be members of the NATO, but recently that dynamic is changing. So you can go through this particular article if you have time. Okay, so this is article specifically it is important for those who are from the PSIR. Okay, and other than that you should know about the Ukraine's position with respect to the NATO membership. You should know about the NATO's position. You should know about the US's position. Okay, you should know about NATO and its specific as well. Okay, so that is something which can be important for your pre as well. Now for your editorial, now the fork in the road. The Trump's move on the Ukraine mark a sharp break from the past approach, underlining the deepening division in the Europe. Now this particular article if you read, okay, so you will be getting an idea about this particular thing as well. So you can go through this small reading, that is hardly 200 words, so you can give it a time. Okay, so I would suggest that if you are not following the previous article, please do follow this article. Okay, so that is about today's discussion. Now coming to the practice question, which two landscapes play a crucial role in Delhi's biodiversity restoration? Yamuna river basin and the Aravalli hill range. Sundarban Delta, that is there in West Bengal, that has nothing to do with this. Western Ghats has nothing to do with it. Ganga Plains and the Nilgiris. Nilgiris are in southern India, so that has nothing to do with the Thar Desert and the Deccan Plateau. Obviously, option A is your right answer. With the logic, you can give this answer. Now coming to the last part, that is under which article of the Indian Constitution is the Election Commission of India is constituted? Article 320, 324, 326 or 330. Okay, so that you can attempt and you can tell the answer in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.